How often have I tried to appear confident when I was not? How often did I try to hide what I really felt? I have spent many years trying to fit in, trying to hide, trying to appear as someone I wasn't. And what did I get out of it? More tension, more stress, more frustration, more insecurities, more anxiety, more depressive moods. Yes, everything that I didn't want to have, I got more of. And so I tried to hide it even more, tried to appear even more confident, tried to fit in even more. And it only made me feel worse inside. I found myself in a vicious circle without a door to break out of. At that time, I had no idea that it was easier than I thought to get out of it. I do think a lot of people share actually this experience. Interviews, talking in front of others, group meetings, no matter if you know those people or not, it can be such a terrifying experience just by anticipating it. You sweat before you even leave the house. Your heart is beating through the roof and your mind is jumping from one worst case to the next one. What if people see that I don't feel confident? What if they will laugh at me when they see my insecurities? What if no one takes me seriously and disrespects me? What if I'm ridiculed and humiliated in public? What if I blush and become a living joke? And so, you put your mask on, you create a facade, a wall, an armor around you. Maybe you have some drinks beforehand. You swallow some pills just to get through this, trying to appear as confident as anyone can possibly be, as funny, smart, and entertaining as anyone can possibly be, as social and competent as anyone can possibly be. The others can do it, right? That does sound so very stressful, doesn't it? And yes, it is. And this is where we fall into the trap of so-called surface acting. Surface acting means you are pretending to appear in a more positive light just to keep the show going, no matter how you really feel deep down inside. I can relate to so many of my clients who do the same thing I used to do. Very often I hear that they believe their solution to the problem lies in them appearing more confident, appearing more secure, appearing happy. And they say stuff like, if I only knew how to look more of what I'm actually not, then I would be happy. Yet, is this really true? And is this really what they want? Today, I would love to share with you how you can overcome this inner tension, this inner stress, this crippling insecurity. I am Christine Philipp. I'm a hypnotist and mind coach, helping people to overcome anxiety and self-doubt so they can fall in love with life again with more ease and confidence. So there are certain emotions we don't want to feel. They have a negative connotation to us. They provide only discomfort and have no other purpose other than to make us feel like. This is what we believe, and this is how we experience it. We don't want to feel anxious, depressed, tense, insecure, low, or lonely. And because we don't want those emotions, we try to push them away at all costs. But those stubborn thingies have the tendency to reinforce their power over us when we try to suppress them and when we try to fight them. Studies have shown that this inner stress and tension, the need to suppress and fight emotions, carry a lot of risks, not only for our mental, but also for our physical health. And this is exactly what I have felt years ago. At times, I was really feeling close to burnout. I had lots of problems with my stomach and with my back. And I see that as well in a lot of with my clients. And I see that as well with a lot of my clients. So why are we doing this to ourselves? We know it's not good for us. Why are we so affected by the outside world, seeking validation from people we know or even random strangers? So let's go back some years, decades, thousands of years actually. The times when we used to live in tribes, in the wilderness basically. Being part of our community, of our tribe, being liked, accepted, and validated meant pure survival at that time. If we would have been rejected and left alone out in the dark and cold world full of wild animals, we would have simply died. So we needed our community to stay safe. And those members of our tribe who appeared the strongest and the most confident, they were just more interesting for the sole purpose of reproduction. That's it. We don't need this nowadays to simply survive. We don't drop dead if someone dislikes us or judges us in a rather negative way. And let's be honest here, we are no angels either. We also judge others. And some people just can do what they want, and we still dislike them and cannot connect. And that is okay. Everyone does it. And we don't die if we fail an exam or if we don't get that job interview right. We are not depending on the audience to validate our existence. We will still live. We will find another job, other opportunities, and other people with whom we connect. And this will be much more joyful from a place of being ourselves. The other thing that studies have shown is that the more we try to fake something, the more we try to appear in a certain way, although we feel very different from the inside, is that we actually appear less likable, less agreeable, less confident, and more avoidant. People who suppress their emotions and fight them are less likely to be able to build real, deep, and meaningful connections with others. And frankly, that is what we try to avoid in the first place, isn't it? So what is the solution? Allow me to tell you this about myself. I used to dread making videos. I used to fear uploading anything from me into the World Wide Web. I was terrified by the thought to be out there, ready to be eaten alive, metaphorically speaking. I used to fear I make mistakes. I stumble over my words, there you go. My accent sounds ridiculous, and other things. That tiny light that told me that the camera is recording became such a huge obstacle for me. I never thought I would overcome it. And yet, there are things I wanted to be able to share. I want to build that connection. I want to help people to feel better. I didn't want to be in my own way any longer. And so I kept doing it, even though I hated it. And what was it that really helped me? The first thing that created a really major shift for me was a very simple question from a wise man, which I appreciate very much to this day. He simply asked me, "Are you willing to screw it up?" My first instinctive response was, of course, no, of course not. I needed to be perfect. I myself need to be perfect. Yet he got me to sit a little bit longer with that one question. Are you willing to screw it up? The longer I sat with it and imagined myself in certain scenarios, screwing things up left, right, and center, the more relief I felt. I really experienced that feeling of liberation, when the weight drops off, when I was finally able to say, yes, I can screw it up. So what? I can't describe how amazing that was, to give myself the permission to make mistakes, to screw stuff up, to be less than perfect, to give myself the permission to just be me, out there, in the open, visible, with all my flaws and quirks, to feel what I feel and not be ashamed of it. Seriously, this is freedom. For me, at least. And it was part of my personal journey I'm still on, to give more and more of myself by just being myself. And I say that to myself. I can give myself permission to just be who I am. I actually give myself permission to feel what I feel and to accept what I feel and who I am. And this is indeed the simple solution to the problem. Take the mask off. Just drop it. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel. Surrender. And give yourself permission to accept who you are and what is inside of you. Experience how just naturally all this tension falls off. All the stress leaves, and your body and your mind calm down. And when that happens, you will be able to authentically experience joy. You will be free to feel really loving and kind. You are real. And you will have a much better time with the people around you, and more importantly, with yourself. Does this mean you will never feel anxious, stressed, or depressed ever again? No, of course not. You will. But when you stop fighting it and accept those emotions also to be part of life, when you can just be you, it will pass more quickly. I still feel nervous standing in front of a camera, and also in other situations as well. I still feel embarrassment and shyness, but I feel much more that it is just okay to feel that way, and that it doesn't make me anything less than anyone else, just human. And that gives me the motivation to keep doing it. It is much more important to me to be able to share things with you. It is much more important to help all my clients in the best way possible. It is much more important to love what I do and doing it. And if you need help and support with this, I would love to enter your personal path of discovery and exploration of who you truly are, what you really want, and what truly makes you happy with yourself, with you. So let's have a first chat and see how I could help you specifically. And if you like my videos, please consider to subscribe, share, and like. And comment sharing your biggest takeaways with me. And till next time, have a lovely day. Bye for now.